Alright guys, sorry, I actually thought I'd hit record, and I didn't, but I ended up draining the putt for par. It was a nice putt. I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get that on recording, so I tried to show where to hit on this hole, and then I realized that I did not hit record, so that's a big bummer. But again, nice save and kind of kept the momentum going for this round. Alright, so for this hole, again, not the best win. I'm not getting great wins today, really. So anything over here, you can kind of see the ridge. Anything I hit into this area is gone. It is off the green, bon voyage. So especially into this one, I have to think about, what's the ball going to do when it hits. So it's going to hit, hit somewhere here, and then it's going to go where the wind's taking it. So my goal is to win this thing 3 to 4 yards right at the pin, hopefully maybe even a little past, stop it, and come back to the hole. Last thing I want to do is end up over here. So I'm going to, again, you got to think about acceptable misses. I'm either going to play more wind or ding it late. I've got to make an adjustment to ensure that I give myself a birdie play here. See, so it's going to take about 23 minus 2. So I need to play this about 167, which is going to be about 98% on my 6-iron. For the wind, I'm going to take a lot. I know normally it's probably going to play about 9, but just because I'm so adamant about not wanting to be left of the pin, I'm going to play it probably like 15. So I have a feeling it's probably going to end up somewhere around here. So maybe it's a little aggressive. I'll think a little off. But again, I told myself I'm going to be right, so I need to make sure that I'm right. Okay, 98%. Looks okay. Get down. Spin back. There we go. Okay, pretty simple putt here. Not a lot to it. You can see the grids are moving, and I can sit here and read it till I'm blue in the face, or I can just make a mental decision to jam this thing in. Okay. Alright, so kind of a fun hole. I like this hole. I like it when I hit a good shot. How's that sound? So I've got, just looking at the hole, there's a ridge that runs all along here. So what's that mean? It means obviously this is downwind. I can afford to land this short, and it's going to hit and release to the hole. I can be pin high left and have a good putt. Even a little past is fine. Right here gets a little hairy, and even here there's a decent amount of break, but it gives me an out, something I can aim for. If I miss early, so it's kind of hard to necessarily make a mistake on this hole because it funnels it for you. All right, so again, I'm going to do my math. Okay, that's about what I would call an 82% wind, or 24. I've called a couple different things. So it's going to take off, we'll say 7. So it's going to put me at 185, and then I'm going to factor in my wind, or my elevation. Oops. So that's going to give me about 173. I know my 6-iron goes 171, and I know that it's going to want to hit and probably stop. However, the more backspin I take off, the more it might release. However, being downwind this much, I don't think we'll have that issue. So to this one, I'm going to play it at about, I can play it full. We'll look at both. So maybe just play at 20. Just because if I do go right, it's okay. It's going to hit and kick back towards the hole a little bit. So that's about 20. Again, we said we were going to go full bore here. Be good. You see it came back a little bit. It's okay. $14 feet. Not a horribly tough putt. Like I said, past the hole's okay. It's kind of hard to hit a bad shot really on this hole unless you go deep. Okay, so we've got no elevation. I'm just going to double check that. I'm going to go forward, back, just to make sure. Every time I see 0, I get a little leery. So I'm going to do 0.72 divided by 60. So that's going to give me 17. If I want to hit 30, double that, it's going to be 34, 34 and a half, something like that. Pretty good view here, so I'm going to read this real quick. Alright, so I read it, and it looks like it's going to be about 4. So I'm seeing 4 in reverse view, and I'll switch it to forward view and take another look at it here. It looks like it may be a little quicker, but I can see it looks like it breaks harder here, but it also breaks a little harder here, so they're probably going to even out. Okay, so in this view, I actually get half the break. So I'm seeing about 2.5, just because these dots aren't necessarily flying. So that's about 1. That's about 2, 2.25, maybe 2.25, and then minus about a half. So we're at that crossroad again. Which line do we trust? I think I trusted the forward view last time, so I'm going to put some faith in this reverse view, what I'm seeing here, and see if I'm right. Okay, let's just hit and hope. So 17. I could also take into account wind. Is it going to affect it? I don't know. Anybody's guess here. I'm gonna meet it halfway in between here. Oh, god dang it. Gotta be able to dig those putts. Alright, gave one away there. I feel like I probably had it, but we'll never know. Okay. So I'm going to subtract 14. Plus I'm going to take off 2 for elevation, so it's going to be 16, which gives me 194. So I'm going to hit this about 96.5. What I have to think about is ridges and whatnot. There's a little ridge right here, but I don't think I'm going to have any issue clearing that. What it has a tendency to do if you land it pin high or pass is it will release, especially downwind, it will release that way. Over here is not bad. It tends to be a little softer, but feeling pretty aggressive here. I'm gonna go for it. Alright, so we said 96.5. So 96.5, I'm going to place by 0.55, I'm going to place about 13. And 96.5. I'm going to play at 95.5. So I'm going to take off a little bit. I think end up being about 4 yards or so. Yeah, so see, I took off some, and I got that dreaded release I was telling you about. And in reality,